Welcome to Wednesday. We are midweek and we are getting into something today that is going to change how you think about conflict recovery forever. I'm Erica. This is your Raw Regulation, and today we're talking about the 20-minute rule. Specifically, why a minimum of 20 minutes is not a suggestion, it's biology. And why most people are spending that time doing the exact thing that keeps them stuck in the red zone. Here's the biological reality, and I want you to hold this as a fact. Not theory, not philosophy, fact. When your body activates a full stress response, cortisol, adrenaline, all of it flooding your system, it takes a minimum of 20 minutes for those stress hormones to metabolically clear your bloodstream enough for your prefrontal cortex to re-engage at something close to full capacity. When your body activates a full stress response, cortisol, adrenaline, all of it flooding your system, it takes a minimum of 20 minutes for those stress hormones to metabolically clear your bloodstream enough for your prefrontal cortex to re-engage at something close to full capacity. 20 minutes. Not 2, not 5, not the time it takes to walk to the other room and take a few breaths and decide you're probably okay now. 20 minutes of actual biological processing. This is not John Gottman being conservative. This is not therapy being cautious. This is biochemistry. Your liver and kidneys are literally metabolizing stress hormones out of your bloodstream. That process has a timeline, and you cannot rush it with willpower or intention. Now, here's the part most people don't know, and this is where it gets important. The 20-minute clock resets every time you re-trigger the stress response. And here's how most people accidentally reset the clock during what they think is a cooldown. They replay the fight in their head. They go over what was said, what they should have said, what they're going to say when they go back in. They feel the anger spike again. That hot flash of, I can't believe they said that. And their body responds as if the threat is still present. Because to your nervous system, it's still present. Your amygdala cannot tell the difference between a real threat and a vividly imagined one. If you are mentally in the fight, your body is chemically in the fight. The cortisol keeps flowing. The prefrontal cortex stays offline. You could spend 45 minutes in the so-called cool down and walk back into that conversation more activated than when you left. And then both of you wonder why the timeout made things worse. What does an actual biological cool down require? 3 things. 1, physical movement, especially rhythmic movement. Walking, shaking, gently swaying, anything that moves the stress activation through the body and toward completion. Your stress response was designed to end in physical action, running, fighting, moving. When we suppress that physical completion and just sit still in the activation, it gets stuck. Movement completes the cycle. This is somatic regulation at its most fundamental level. 2, breath that signals safety. Extended exhale breathing, longer out than in, activates your parasympathetic nervous system. Your vagus nerve carries the signal. The threat has passed. We can come back online. Even 5 minutes of extended exhale breathing during your 20-minute window measurably reduces cortisol and begins restoring prefrontal cortex function. And 3, interruption of the cognitive replay loop. This is the one people resist the most because replaying the fight feels productive. It feels like processing. It feels like you're working through it. You're not. You're re-triggering it. You need something that requires just enough mental engagement to pull your upstairs brain away from the conflict narrative. Music, a podcast on a completely unrelated topic, folding laundry while watching something neutral, a walk where you deliberately notice 5 things you can see. You're not distracting yourself from your feelings. You're interrupting the loop that is keeping your body chemically activated so your nervous system can actually complete the reset. Okay, so this is what is not on the approved cool down list. Calling your best friend to vent. You are re-narrating the threat. Clock resets. Scrolling your phone while still thinking about it. Partial distraction, partial activation, not enough. Drafting a text you're not going to send. You are in the fight. Still in the fight. Journaling about the conflict in real time. That depends on how you do it, but if you're replaying and rephrasing, the clock resets. The 20-minute rule only works if you actually leave the red zone during it. Here's your takeaway for today. Next time you call a timeout, or your partner calls one, the 20 minutes are sacred. Protect them. Move your body. Breathe long exhales. Interrupt the replay loop. Come back in 20 minutes with your upstairs brain actually online. Tomorrow, I'm giving you the exact language for how to call that timeout. How to exit the conflict and ask for your 20 minutes without your partner hearing abandonment, punishment, or rejection. Because calling a timeout is a skill. And doing it wrong can escalate things faster than staying in the conversation. I'm Erica. 20 minutes. Make them count. See you tomorrow.